I mean, 4th of July is actually my favorite holiday, and to be honest, I think that's partially due to the food. I love all the berries New England farmers sell around this time of year, and it's always fun to take the flavors of the season and turn it into a delicious, not quite nutritious dish, which is why we're making this strawberry cake with strawberry cream cheese frosting for our 4th of July picnic today.
Hey guys, it's Aubrey Yandow here from the Coastal Confidence, a New England lifestyle brand, and today we are in my kitchen to go over how to make a strawberry cake with strawberry cream frosting for 4th of July weekend. As always, these recipes are not my own, and today we took this recipe from one of my favorite bloggers. My mom actually introduced me to her, and it is the blogger Elizabeth N. Butter. She makes great homemade recipes, and we got this recipe from her blog. I'll link her blog post down below with all the details, and let's get right to it. Now here's everything that you're gonna need to pull off this cake for your 4th of July shindigs.
Okay, first things first, you are going to grease all 3 8-inch round cake pans that we have here. These are the pans we are going to be baking our strawberry cakes in today. And they're super cute. Now just make sure to grease each pan really well and then go back in and flour each pan thoroughly. It's important to cover the pan in its entirety so you have no issues getting the baked cakes out of the pan when the time comes, which has been a struggle I've had in the past. Now we'll put these pans on standby for when we're finished with the cake batter, which we're going to jump into whipping together next. For the cake batter, you'll need about 1 pint of fresh strawberries to make up our half cup of strawberry puree, 1, 2, 3, 4 egg whites at room temperature. Now the next ingredient was actually for the frosting but was kind of tricky to find on short notice. So before baking, try to get your hands on these freeze-dried strawberries. I needed about 2 bags to make the frosting. Next, you're going to need 2 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, along with 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. Now, one of my favorite ingredients, you're going to need a lot of butter. In fact, you're going to need 3 sticks of salted butter softened at room temperature. I had to use 6 half sticks here. Have 1 cup of whole milk at room temperature ready to go. And the best smelling ingredient around, you're going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Next, you're going to need not 1, not 2, but 3 cups of flour. And on to the good stuff, you're going to need about 2 1/4 cups of sugar on hand. Oh, and in terms of tools, you're going to need a food processor, a blender, and a mixer with a paddle attachment to get started. And now I'm getting started making the strawberry puree for my cake batter. So here I have the 1 pint of strawberries, and I'm just cutting off the tops and cutting them in half and shoving them in my blender to mix up and make that delicious, fresh, and local strawberry puree. Just like in a garden, right? In the end, if I'm being honest with you all, I probably cut up way too many strawberries. I could have gotten away with cutting up a half a pint. But anyways, I just blended that all together really well until it was completely smooth. Once it was all blended together, I just did a few final spins and then poured the half a cup of strawberry puree into this measuring cup. And I put the extra to the side, and looking back, I probably maybe would have put a little more of the strawberry puree into the batter. Oh, and by the way, it smelled delicious. Now let's just put that to the side and get to the good stuff. Okay, now in a large mixing bowl, we're going to add our 3 cups of flour. We're just going to go right in there and throw them into that mixing bowl, easy peasy. Make sure to level them off so they're nice and even. Next up, you're going to mix together your baking soda and your baking powder, and you're going to add that into the dry mixture below. Then have a whisk on hand because we're going to whisk this baby up. We're going to evenly distribute all 3 ingredients within the bowl, and then we're going to set the bowl to the side to grab for later and clear off our space. Now on to my favorite part of baking, which is anytime I get to pull out my mixer. Here I have a KitchenAid mixer that I am going to use with a paddle attachment to cream together my sugar, which I'm pouring in now, and our butter, and we're going to cream that together for about 2 minutes until it makes a really nice, smooth, delicious, not nutritious combination. Here I am throwing in my 6 half sticks of butter, but again, if you have whole, you're going to use just 3 whole sticks of butter, and it has to be salted at room temperature. And don't be afraid to get your hands a little sticky and a little dirty with this. There's no clean way of doing it, but just throw in that butter and go wash those hands. Now we're going to lift up our bowl, and we are going to turn the mixer on and whip that all together. Again, it's just going to take about 2 minutes, so be patient and you'll see it turn into a lovely mixture above. And oh boy guys, here you guys have to watch me learn how to separate eggs for the first time ever. I needed 4 egg whites, so I just went super slowly. So if you are a rookie like me, no harm, no foul. I did drop 1 egg yolk, but I was able to scoop it out. I am just separating those eggs, and along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, we are going to add all of that goodness into the mixture. Next up, I just quickly scraped down the sides of the mixture, then I pulled the mixture up and turned the mixer on and let that beat together for just 1 minute. And oh my goodness, let me tell you, it smelled divine. So good. Okay, now we grabbed our ingredients from the side. We have our whole milk, and we're going to pour it into a bigger measuring cup. And now we're going to do something not so aesthetically pleasing, but we're going to grab our strawberry puree that we made and pour that into the whole milk. Next up, we are going to pull out that flour mixture that we had made before and set aside. We're going to go ahead and put 1/3 of the flour mixture into the butter mixture, along with 1/3 of the strawberry and milk puree mixture. And here you're going to watch us alternate between dry and wet ingredients, and we're going to mix in between. So we're going to do this in 3 installments, and this is installment 1. And here you're just going to keep continuing alternating between your wet and your dry mixture here in parts of 3. This is our 3rd part. We're going to throw in the rest and give it 1 final quick whip while making sure not to overmix. And now for the part my mom dreads, because I make such a mess in the kitchen. We are going to try to evenly distribute the cake batter into our 3 greased and floured pans from earlier. And I decided to use a measuring cup and a spatula to help me evenly distribute the batter amongst the 3 pans. And this did help minimize mess, but to be honest, it was still a little messy for me. I put some extra elbow grease in here to make sure that I got all of that batter out of that mixing bowl, and let me tell you, it did taste good. And then I leveled these babies off and got them ready to go into the oven. Now if you follow me over to the oven, I stuck 2 of the cake pans in the top oven and 1 in the bottom just to give them extra air, and I set the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It had been preheating that whole time, and I put 25 minutes on the timer, although I did keep them in for about 30 minutes all in all. Now, while those cakes are baking, we are going to make our strawberry cream cheese frosting. We're going to start by getting our 1/2 cup of ground freeze-dried strawberries. Again, I had to grind up about 2 containers of freeze-dried strawberry packets, and I ended up finding these at Whole Foods, but you can find them at Target if you don't have a Whole Foods accessible to you. I just scraped them out of the food processor and into a measuring cup so I had the exact amount I needed. In here you'll see me make a gigantic mess all over the counter. But anyways, on to the frosting. So here we have 1 packet or 8 ounce of cream cheese being added to our KitchenAid mixer. Along with 2 sticks of salted butter, again, that have been sitting at room temperature. And don't mind the butterfingers here, but we are going to lift up that mixture and cream it all together. We let that beat together for about 3 minutes. We took our freeze-dried strawberries that had been grinded up and slowly add them to the mixture, which gave it a beautiful pink tint, perfect for 4th of July. We let that slowly mix together and then got ready for my favorite ingredient in cakes, which is vanilla extract, and we have to put 1 teaspoon in, which I very daringly decided not to do over the mixing bowl, but rather over the counter. And I did not spill that much, so I'm quite proud. And it went, and we mixed together for about 2 minutes. Next up, we are going to very slowly add 2 boxes of confectionery sugar into the mix. Now I did this in parts to make sure that I did not end up with a mushroom cloud of confectionery sugar all over the kitchen. And at moments, I just went for it and threw it all in. And that's that. As you can see, our beautiful pink mixture frosting is in the front, and I just grabbed a froster. Now for my least favorite part, which is actually frosting the cake. I had a few tools to help me out because I always get especially nervous. There's my little nervous dance, and I asked my mom to come over and help me get the cakes out of the pan, and from there she let me take it away, so I just went for it. And I'll speed this up so it's not too tragic for you to watch. And just like that, ta-da, it's done. No, I kid. It took me quite a while to get it to look like that, but all in all, it looked fantastic. And now I just grabbed a few of our local berries from our fruit stand down the road and decorated the entire side of the cake, 4th of July themed, of course. And I decided to put some strawberries and blueberries on top. And is it a 4th of July party without sparklers? I don't think so. And just pardon my crazy facial expressions here. We were trying to get a thumbnail for this video. So if you did like it, do give us a thumbs up because that face just says it all.
I hope this video inspired you to step into the kitchen and try something new, whether it's a recipe you see on Pinterest or another blog. It's always fun to try new things for holiday family parties, and the family always appreciates it. If you liked this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We make new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, and we can't wait to see you guys back. Have a happy 4th of July.